Marie Del Rosie Alfaro was born on October 12th, 1971. At the age of 12, she apparently would start doing drugs, and within a year, she would be addicted to cocaine and heroin. And so apparently, she would steal from stores in order to feed the addiction because drugs are always expensive. Her mother would wind up sending her to several treatment centers. Apparently, that didn't work. She apparently would try to send Rosie to her grandmother that apparently lived in Mexico. She apparently would start doing prostitution at 14, to pay for said drugs, and was even sleeping with said drug dealers in order to get free drugs, from what we assume. She apparently would get pregnant at 15, have a son named Daniel, and apparently would get pregnant soon after. The name of that baby I cannot publicly find. So then April Wallace, who apparently was a friend of Rosie's, would allow Rosie and her son to move in, her son Daniel, and April had a 9-year-old sister named Autumn. And so Autumn was born on February 15th, 1981. Rosie would eventually get kicked out because you imagine she had not changed her behavior. She was still doing drugs, still drinking, and not contributing to clean up around the house. Rosie would get pregnant sometime after this again, and this pregnancy is twins. On the fateful day of June 15th, 1990, Rosie apparently was on a high when she couldn't get the money for drugs. She then comes up with the idea to rob the Wallace household. She apparently somehow knew that Autumn was going to be home alone because obviously she had lived with them, so she kind of knew everybody's schedule at the time until her mom would come home from work. So then apparently she takes over her child Daniel and 2 men. She always has the 2 men and the baby stay in the car. 9-year-old Autumn would apparently open the door because, Rosie's familiar. She trusted Rosie, so she lets her in. Rosie would apparently get a knife. Then apparently lures Autumn to the bathroom, basically says, "Can you help me clean my eyelash curler?" And Autumn, being the innocent child she is, she apparently, I guess, had tried to actually help clean it. So then apparently while Autumn is distracted by cleaning this eyelash curler, Rosie would then apparently proceed to stab Autumn repeatedly. So then once Autumn is believed to be dead, she then ransacks the house, tries to get any valuable belongings so that she could sell, for drugs. The whole thing she was in there. 2 hours later, Autumn's mother, Linda, apparently comes home and she finds Autumn's body for herself, sadly. So then, of course, police are called. It's now a murder scene. By the time Linda's with to come home, Rosie had already sold the TV and the Nintendo and only got $240 out of it. So apparently she actually comes back to the crime scene, tries to act oblivious to the whole murder that just happened at the house, and basically asks can she talk to April, her friend. So then Rosie tried to claim to police that she was driven to the Wallace house against her will, and that she was forced to kill Autumn because Autumn would have been a living witness by one of the men. So then Rosie would obviously basically be eventually sentenced to death. In 2007, she apparently would try to make an appeal, at least to get off death row, but she wound up staying on death row until 2014, where she was taken off, and then she was put back on death row in 2017, and she's been on there ever since.